Big Van, social media producer Mazzani. Don't forget about producer Sage. With Shay on cameras, intern Eli on audio, and all the super fans that ask the questions and make this the most unpredictable show on the internet. Before we begin, be sure to take just a second and share this live stream on whatever social media platform you're watching from. By doing this, we can see that you really care and we'll move your questions and comments to the top. All right, let's get this party started. We look forward to seeing you and your questions and comments on this live episode of the Ask Big Van Show. Hey, what's happening, everybody in the whole wide world? Welcome to another episode of the Ask Big Van Show with me, your host, Big Van. And also with us, as always, is social media producer, Mazzani Speaks. What's happening, Mazzani?
Hey, how you doing today?
Thanks for joining in. And before we get into answering all your questions, if you can take just a second and share this on whatever live stream or whatever platform you're watching this from, YouTube or wherever, or Facebook, and share it there and let all your friends join in with us, and they can kind of throw their questions up as well and enjoy the show with us. So thanks for being a watcher and a viewer, and we will get right into some of your questions. Mazzani, do we have any ready to get started?
We sure do. Let's go ahead and get this ball rolling.
All right. And we also have Shay in the building. Super Shay, but she won't let us show because she's running from the FBI or something like that. So, but she's back there. I think you guys can hear her. Can you hear her? Say hello, Shay.
Hi, guys.
There we go. Cool.
Okay, so this question comes from Joshua DeLauder.
All right.
Thank you. And he wants to know, what do you think about fighters who trash talk guys like Conor McGregor or Kyle Sonnen?
Chael Sonnen, yeah.
Yeah, I know the McGregor. I know him, but I don't know anything about him.
Yeah, why do you know him? This might explain what I have to say right there. Why do you know Conor McGregor? Are you a fight fan?
I only know like who's popular, like who's popping.
Yeah, because you know who he is. Thank you, Abby. You know who he is because he runs his mouth. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what attracted you to watch him. You probably never even watched him fight, have you? Have you ever watched?
I've watched McGregor fight. Actually,
have you? Okay, okay. But the answer to that question, Josh. Thanks. Hey, Josh DeLauder, thanks for asking that question. But the answer to that question is, I think that's crucial for the success of a fighter, because at the end of the day, all it is you're selling tickets to watch a fight, you know. And in other industries, that's not as much of a indicator or a catalyst for selling more tickets. But in the fight industry, at its core, people want to see that aggression, you know, that they want to see. And I understand. I totally get it from fighters' point of views that don't talk trash. A lot of that is because they come at it strictly from a professional standpoint. I'm a professional athlete. I train, and they are. These fighters, and especially MMA fighters, the best conditioned athletes in the world, in my opinion. And I understand and totally respect them. Some of the best people I've ever met have been MMA fighters. But from a business standpoint, and I'm not a fighter, so I'm not talking to you if you're a fighter watching this. I'm not talking at all saying, hey, this is what you should do to be a better fighter, because I can't tell you that. But from a business standpoint, the bottom line is, can you put more butts in the seats? You know, and talking trash statistically has sold more tickets. If you go and research this, Google, you know, the effects of go look at the gates for fights that have UFC fights that have had big trash talkers on the card versus fights that have really equally good fighters, but they don't talk trash, and you'll see the statistics are staggeringly different, you know, because at its core, you're in an industry, fighters are in an industry where people want to at least think that there's some kind of an aggression there, you know, some kind of reason, you know, it all boils back down to like, can we meet behind the Burger King after school and settle our differences, you know? So yeah, I would say definitely fighters who talk trash will go farther in that industry, the industry of fighting, and that's boxing and pretty much any of the combat sports. If you have fighters that can learn how to talk trash, the best probably one of the best trash talkers. Of course, is Conor McGregor. Everybody knows that. He's a good fighter. He's not like a phenomenal fighter. He's not like Muhammad Ali, like, which also put Muhammad Ali in where he was through running his mouth as well. But, you know, there are better fighters than Conor McGregor, but the reason he catapulted so quickly to the top was because of his mouth. The reason he even got to fight Mayweather was because of his mouth, you know, and he made $100 million some dollars off that fight, you know. So if you're sitting at home when you're watching this video and you're watching me and you're thinking this guy is nuts, you know, I don't agree with him, you know, especially coaches. A lot of coaches will tell fighters, you know, don't trash talk, you know, that's not for you. And I'm not talking about being disrespectful. I'm not talking about going after somebody's mom or talking about his wife or anything like that. I'm just talking about coming out confident. One of the best ones I've ever seen do this, and he's not a boisterous or aggressive or abrasive individual, is Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. You know, he comes out and he says, he talks trash, but respectfully, you know, he talks about how good he is and how he's obviously going to win this fight because of his self-confidence, not because the other guy's a sorry fighter, you know. And it makes you think, okay, I want to see that. I want to see if he can actually do that, those things that he says he can do. So, yeah. What do you think, Mazan? You think fighters? Do you find more respect for fighters that talk trash, or more interest in watching their fights?
I want to see trash talking. I like that drama, but I love really whenever somebody trash talks and then they fight and then they lose, because
of course,
you know, that's my favorite.
You either want to see them lose or win, right? Mm-hmm. It's like,
like, can you back it up or not?
Exactly, and that's the point. That's the point I'm making. This trash talking attracts viewers. They want to see, can this guy back up what he's saying? You know, or I hate this guy. I can't stand his mouth. I want to see him lose. Bottom line is tickets were sold, and that's the bottom line. So there we go. That's what we got on time on that question, Josh. But good question. That was a great question, as a matter of fact.
Yeah. Okay. This question, since we're talking about fighting, let's go ahead and keep it in the lingo.
That's Kendall's picture there.
Yeah, isn't she pretty?
No, it's Josh still on. Our system does that sometimes, y'all. It'll overlap pictures. Can you see it, Mazzoni?
Yeah, I can.
It's Josh.
Kendall Estes wants to know, have you seen Creed 2? Thoughts, favorite scene?
Oh my gosh. She asked this question last week and I told her I would watch it, and I have not. The hurricane hit and I thought I was going to have to go and be out of town for weeks on end, and so I was preparing for that, and I actually forgot all about watching Creed 2. I'm very sorry. I have failed you, Kendall. I failed you as a host of your favorite web show and also as your father. So, no, I haven't seen it yet. And, Mazzani, I know that drives you crazy because you wanted to talk about it, something awful. So, have mercy on me. I will watch it between now and next week. I will. I'll probably watch it tonight after this show. Okay?
Please.
And then next week we will go into it, and I'll let you know if I think it's a good movie or not. I definitely love the first Creed, so there's that. So, we'll see.
Okay, so our next question comes from Amy Pope. Thank you so much for being a sharer, Miss Amy. Please, everybody, take a moment out of this show and then go ahead and share, because I'll pull your questions to the top of our list. She wants to know, what is your favorite Bible verse?
Hey, that's a great question, Amy. And Amy is a sharer, and she does it at almost every show. I guess she does every show, right? I always see her sharing all the time. So thanks, Amy, for being a viewer and a sharer. What is my favorite Bible verse? I'll tell you my favorite Bible verse. It's in Proverbs, and I think it's I can't remember which one it is. Shoot. But I know what it says. It says, "He who loves a pure heart and whose speech is gracious will have the king for his friend." And that, to me, is like the core of all of Christianity. You know, like the whole objective for Christianity is for us to have a relationship with God, you know, and that's that scripture there. I could, like, you know, if you guys read the Bible, you like know where things are at in the Bible. You don't always know exactly what the verse is, but you could flip there in a second because you got marks on your pages and all that stuff. Yeah. So I think it's Proverbs 22:11 maybe, or something like that. It's somewhere in there. But it's that's what it says. He who loves a pure heart and whose speech is gracious will have the king for his friend. So sorry I don't have a scripture verse. I'll try to find that for you and I'll put it on our Facebook page. You guys can go find that if you care. Mazzani, what do you think? You got a favorite Bible verse? What is that? Deer in the headlights look.
I'm trying to think.
You're posting Bible stuff all the time on your Facebook page.
Yeah, and I've been reading it, but I'm not done.
Well, which one do you like so far?
I guess my favorite so far is, I don't really remember what it says. But it would probably be in Revelations, like the Revelations chapter 1, whenever he first it comes in contact with the angels, like that have the four wings.
Oh, yeah.
In the front, and he's describing them and describing like where the Lord sits, and that he's getting that opportunity to open that book. You know, that him being lowly. I feel like because he's lowly, like a guy who's just like us, and he's getting this opportunity to meet up with, you know, God and see all his peeps. That's my favorite so far. I like how he set that up. I feel like I can see it the way he's just described everything.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's one of the coolest parts of the Bible for me too. Is like whenever regular people interact with like the spiritual world, like, you know, when they see angels or angels appear to them or whatever, you know.
Yeah, definitely. You know, anything really like that. Oh, no. The tax collector. That's my favorite. What was his name? What was his name? He was a short man. Remember?
Oh,
what was his name?
Zacchaeus.
Zacchaeus
You
is
just
my
like
favorite.
it because of the song.
Yeah, Zacchaeus is my favorite because, well, no, I like it because he climbed the tree because he was so determined to see him.
Yeah.
And he knew his life wasn't fulfilled. That's how I be feeling. Like, I would do whatever I got to do right now. Like, if he was to tell me to climb a tree,
Right.
my big hind end will try to figure it out.
Nice. I don't mean nice like you have a big high end. I mean like I agree with you.
Bro.
Yeah, that's good. Shay, you got a favorite Bible verse back there?
I don't know. Not really. It's not I don't read the Bible, but I don't think I have a particular one.
Okay. Well, we'll give you a shot. If you're mad at Jesus, just tell us, you know. I'm kidding.
Whoa.
Hey, Shay, did you remember to share this?
I did.
Okay, cool. So if you're watching this show and you've watched it because of the shared link on my personal Facebook page, just let us know because you guys are my personal friends and family, and we'd like to see if you've chimed in. Just give us a hey, what's up, Van, or give us a question or a comment, you know, about one of these things. So, or let us know what your favorite Bible verse is. Put it in the comments below, and we will look it up. We always look these up after the show. We go back through and we look at them. We read all your comments, and like I can't see them right now. Mazzani filters all that stuff, and so I can't see what they are. So after the show, you know, we sit down, we look through it, and we usually comment about them or we'll like them and stuff like that. So we definitely see what you're saying. What do you think,
Okay.
Mazzani? You wanna?
Yeah, I'm ready to go to the next
You got some
question.
more fired up?
Yeah.
Do I need to stretch them out, or
I got them in the chamber. No, we're good to go.
Okay.
This one comes from Sage STs, and he wants to know. He wants to know.
I just read it.
He wants to know is it acceptable to ask a woman if she has a permit for that thing, if she's obviously wearing a wig. If you want to get that noggin hit.
Oh my goodness, Sage. What is wrong with you, man? For you guys that are just watching this, you don't know, Sage is our producer on The Lamb. He got real lazy and said he needed a break because he was like had one thing to do a week. One thing a week. No, I'm just kidding. No, he's a hard worker, and so anyway. But I don't know why you asked these questions of me to try to get me in trouble. Because you know I'm sitting here in the studio with beautiful black women. You know, I don't know if y'all don't wear wigs.
wig.
Yeah, so
No.
there you go. Never mind. Yeah, we can talk about this. What did you say? What did you say last week? It was something about
Black culture.
yeah, like African culture.
Yeah.
And I was like,
That was funny.
yes, I will say sometimes you can tell, you know, some of them women be wearing, look at my hair. It looks like, no, not tonight. Sometimes it looks like a wig, don't it? But
It's pretty nice.
tonight, and I threw that on quick too. Anyway.
You said I threw that on quick.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you can say that, Sage. Got to give you a straight up answer. I don't think you can say you got a permit for that thing. to a woman that's got a funky looking wig. I don't think that's acceptable. I have seen some pretty sketchy looking. You know what's crazy is like all these women that are superstars. You know, what's I don't know her. What's her name? Her face is right there. She's the black rapper lady, real famous, got the big boobs. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, Nicki Minaj. Like she's one of like all these women that are real famous. They all got wigs on. It's all wigs.
Honey, it's easier to slap a wig on than it is to
Oh
do
yeah,
hair.
yeah. I'm not saying it to be derogatory. I'm just saying it's like they come out with this hair that's like, wow, she's like must be rich. She must have paid like $700 for that hairdo. And then you like find out later, oh man. What about those videos where like people are in like meetings or in award ceremonies and somebody come by and grab their wig off their head?
They got a death wish.
That is bad news right there. I've seen those.
Bro.
Or dudes wearing wigs. Like I saw one on the what's the one? What's Nick Cannon's new show?
Wildin' Out?
Wildin' Out. Yeah. Do you see that one where the dude had a wig on and the guy come up behind him and jerked his wig off?
No.
Oh, bad news right there. Oh my gosh. But yeah, Sage, answer your question. No, you can't say that. I mean, you can, but you're going to get your butt whooped, you know. Because she might have a permit for that other thing. She goes,
That was good. That was real good. That was smooth right there. I ain't gonna lie. That was smooth. Yeah. But you know, as opposed to just women, now it's a thing for men too with those beards. Like they wear those fake beards. They got like pieces.
no.
Swear.
Yeah. What?
Yes. They be getting them glued on. Like, I
It looks
swear.
so natural.
I got to check that out.
You don't need it.
No, but I mean, it's a thing.
I could fill it out a little bit in here. Yeah.
No.
Like it's like extensions, but for your beard.
It's like a whole full
No, it's a
piece.
full-blown
And they
wig
put,
for
they
your
just like,
Wow.
it's
They glue
crazy.
it on
Probably
and
looks good
everything.
too.
It does look pretty real.
Can you tell it's fake?
No.
So yeah, that's a good idea. That's pretty boss. But like, unless you get sweaty and it like starts coming loose and it's like
Yeah.
hanging off your face, like in every movie you've ever seen ever that had a fake mustache, the mustache comes off, don't it? Right? Am I right? Like
Pretty
every
much.
movie you've ever seen. So that'd be my fear if I had like a fake beard like peeling off in the middle of my show. I'll be talking to all y'all, half my face, the beard peels off. That'd be awful.
That will be television.
Yeah.
Okay, our next question comes from Shakia Barnes. She wants to know, how do you be attractive? And thank you for sharing our show.
So you're trying to say that I'm not attractive, and you're trying to tell me like I'm just kidding. I know that ain't what you're saying. Mazzani's face. How do you be attractive? There's a lot to it being attractive. You know, I don't just come out the door like this. No, I'm just kidding. No, there's a lot to being attractive. Like, you know, some people just because they have good looks, as soon as they open their mouth or even look at you, you can tell that you know they're not attractive people. You know, they have a nice physique. You know, that the Lord blessed them with, and some of them work hard for that physique too, but their attitudes suck. You know, and that's not attractive. And then other times you have people that don't have like these perfect bodies, but their attitudes are fantastic, and like they say things to you that are just pull you in. You know what I mean? And you're instantly attracted to them. They're like. Mazzani.
I'm so attractive.
She's like dancing over there. But yeah, how do you be attractive is you take care of yourself, right? Like, I mean, there's some practicalities to it. Like, if you're watching this, I'm gonna give you some pointers on how to be attractive. One, don't wear sweatpants and holy t-shirts to Walmart with your hair in rollers. You know, don't go out in public looking like you just come out of the bathroom. You know, have a little self-respect and get dressed up. You know, not dressed up like you're going to the prom, but get like respectable. Nowadays, especially everybody, if you look real bad, people are gonna put you on YouTube.
And then you get paid. So
No, you don't. The people that put them on YouTube go get paid.
yeah, you're right.
You know. No, but for real, like have some self-respect. You know, fix your hair up, and I'm not talking just women. I'm talking to everybody. You know, I've seen guys come out. Sometimes these guys, fellas, you got to do better than that. You come, and what's up with wearing your pajama bottoms? It's the middle of the day. And you know what I'm talking about? All these guys got these flannel pajama bottoms,
I like them.
But they're pants. They're not pajama bottoms, you know.
They're cute.
Yeah, for like hanging around the house,
Yeah.
you know.
I disagree.
I mean, I don't know.
The fact of the matter is, you can look good all day, but if your attitude sucks,
No, you can't, because like you got even guys like even wealthy people, you know, come rolling up in ragtag clothes and whatnot. You know, that's not attractive. If you think they're attractive, what you think's attractive is their money. You know what I mean?
yep.
And that,
Dang.
but that's not attractive though.
I'm not offended. Money is sexy. I'm
No,
sorry.
that's shallow.
I'm okay.
It is. It's shallow.
You jump in my pool, your head gonna hurt.
You think it's sexy now because you want some of that money. But once you get it, you realize, oh, that was nothing. That's shallow. You know what I'm saying?
No. That's like when people are like, oh, money isn't everything. You can't fix your problems when you have money. I can think of every single problem I have right now could be fixed with money.
You think so?
Yep. Every single one of them.
Well, what would you do if you had it? What would you do if it had it? What if Donald Trump walked in the room and said, "Here's $1 million"?
If I take that money from Donald Trump,
What?
it better be behind closed doors.
Well, you would,
Because
though.
I will get drugged. So it won't matter I have no money.
Yeah, like. So you wouldn't take $1 million from Donald
Oh,
Trump?
yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. I don't care if he's a racist. That money ain't racist. Money talk different. That money talk
Oh my
different.
gosh. What? We ain't even going there.
I'm just saying, you know, like attractiveness comes from within. I really truly do feel that if you're a confident person and you just ooze that, don't matter how you look, because you're going to be attractive, because you're a confident person. People like you. People want to be around you. They like your spirit. And you're nice. That's what it is. You can be ugly, and you know, I know some ugly people who are attractive.
You think so?
I have some real ugly, muggly people.
Yeah. Okay, well, let me go into our next topic because we're running off of this one. But I want to hinge it on what you said about Donald Trump being racist.
Jack said I just sold myself to the devil.
Yeah, that's right, Jack. You tell her. All right, Mazan, why? Let's just talk about this, okay? Why is it that you inherently think that Donald Trump is racist?
I just said that to get a rise out of you.
But do you think he is?
I don't know. I don't pay him enough attention, to be honest.
Okay.
To know if he's racist.
You're not-
He
and
says
you're not gonna
racist
get
things.
Like what? And you're not going to get a rise out of me because I don't think Donald Trump's the
Antichrist?
I don't think he's our salvation. I think he's. I mean, I can appreciate a lot of the things he's doing right now as president, but I see his fallacies. But why? But let's talk about the racist thing because I hear that all the time about Donald Trump.
I don't know. I'm a media mogul. Like, I just be watching people in the media and they say stuff and I pick it up. That's just how it is.
Yeah, because they say that all the time about Donald Trump, and they're like, but you know, they never started. I never heard him say that at all before 2016. You know, like, and I've been
Because it didn't matter.
like, what about everybody claims that he's like the only reason he was elected because of the show The Apprentice. Like, we elected a reality show star for our president. You know, aside from the fact that for the last 30 years, most business people in this country have followed him and read his books on business leadership. You know what I mean?
It is kind of weird, though, for him to be our president. You know, it just doesn't seem like he follows the type of mold that we would expect for a president.
Yeah.
That's why a lot of people have issues with it, to be honest.
Well, absolutely, and that's why a lot of people voted for him, though, too. To be honest,
Because we need something different.
Yeah, because they were sick and tired
But
of the
is that what you needed, though?
Well, yeah. Look what's happened to our economy.
Oh, really? I haven't seen any fruits of that labor.
You haven't seen. Well, research how many jobs are what our unemployment rate is now.
Really? Because I'm about to be unemployed. I need a job.
Well, you'll be able to get one easy, for sure. Because our unemployment right now, and I haven't seen this statistic lately, but last time I saw it, it's the lowest it's been in 50 years. Because of jobs that Donald Trump has got.
Really? Like what?
Like what job specifically? Let's see. The tariffs. Okay, so you know about the steel tariffs, right?
Yeah, is that a job?
Yeah, that brings jobs.
Oh,
So yeah, because what happens is before we were outsourcing to get our steel. So like to build Harley Davidson motorcycles, for example, they had bought land over in like India or someplace. I don't know specifically. You guys probably know this story exactly better. But they were getting ready for the first time ever to outsource the manufacturing of Harley Davidson, the American motorcycle, right? But Trump came along and said, okay, well, I'm implementing steel tariffs. So that means where you used to be able to outsource to get your steel and all this stuff, so what we were doing was buying steel from other countries. We were buying all this labor from other countries, and then we were selling it to Americans, But all the profits from selling the steel and all the profits from selling the labor, all were being spent in other countries, And so by him raising steel tariffs, of course, everybody freaked out. They're like, oh my gosh, nobody's going to be able to afford any, thing that has steel in it anymore. But actually the opposite's happened. It's just forced all these companies to keep their labor here, and it's created more jobs. Does that make sense?
yeah, sure.
Like that's how more jobs get created is he keeps other businesses from outsourcing their labor to other countries, and it forces them financially to find jobs to be filled here. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So I mean, there's look at the statistics. Shay could look it up. It's just like I think he's adding like 750,000 jobs a month because of business leadership. Does that make sense? When it comes to social issues, like whether or not he's racist or whether or not these social issues, like social meaning things that are people's matters of opinion, about moral issues and stuff, and whether or not he should tweet and all that nonsense. Yeah, he needs a lot of work, But when it comes to business leadership, leading the country from a business standpoint, he's doing a great job. So if people will go and research what he's doing for the country, for our economy, they'll be like blown away. But nobody sees that because all they can see is what CNN says, that he's racist, And so
Racism sells.
No, it really doesn't. Racism divides.
Well, I mean, it also gets the public involved. It really does. If you want to tear somebody down, say they're racist.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying is that's why exactly you said it. You hit the nail on the head. That's why these liberal media outlets are saying he's racist, just because they have to tear him down and tear down his credibility because they can't have that. It's his representation is what's causing all the problems, in their opinion. Does that make sense?
We'll come back to this question another day. I'm going to have to do some research.
Okay, do some research. Do some research on jobs, on what Trump has done in the economy, not the social issues. He's blundering that, obviously. Never said he was going to do good with those. He always said he was going to do good with the economy. So, last thing I'll say about that. One of the first things Trump did when he became president is he sent out a bulletin to all departments, nationwide, all federal departments, and he said, for every $1 that you want to come and add to our budget, you have to have a plan for how your department's going to save $2. How you're going to save $2 for every $1 that we give you moving forward. Does that make sense? That's pretty fundamental. So, I don't. Are you putting your question up?
No, yeah, I was letting you finish.
Okay. All right. Yeah, so I don't condone his middle of the night tweets, obviously, but I do condone 750,000 new jobs every month. So.
All right. So our next question comes from Melanie Pennell. Thank you for sharing. She wants to know, is it more important to be spiritual or religious? Oh, wow. That's pretty good. Pretty good question.
Yeah, it's a great question. Thank you very much, Melanie. That is a fantastic question because a lot of people think that being religious somehow gets you in tighter with God. But for those of you that don't fully understand, maybe you're not religious people, you don't really understand the difference between the two. Being religious means you have like a set of rules or guidelines under the umbrella of a certain religion. So like Christianity would be that you live a certain way, or Islam is you live a certain way, and you have to fit inside those boundaries. And that's kind of what being religious means. And being spiritual is where you're more involved and in tune in the spiritual realm type stuff. I would think that absolutely, especially for Christians, being spiritual is far more important than being religious. Because being spiritual is when you're really communicating and spending time and developing your relationship with God. You know what I mean? So you can be religious all day long, and it doesn't get you anywhere closer to the Lord. And being closer to God is the fundamental reason we even exist. So what do you think about that? You don't agree with that either, Ms. Honey?
Wow, you think I just be coming for you? Like I always gotta have an opinion.
Gunning, running and gunning for me.
No, you. That's it right there.
Yeah, I think most people agree with that. Where the people that don't agree with that are the ones who have set up a really nice system for being religious. They have like this is my formula for how and why I do the things I do in a religious realm. And really, with God, there's no formula like that, right? God, every single blade of grass on the planet is different than every other piece of grass. There's no two pieces of grass that are the same. There's no two people, there's no two animals, there's no two of anything are the same. So why would we think that God fits into some kind of a formula? Now he obviously gives us a foundation, gives us a blueprint, gives us a way to live our lives. But we have to remember it's all about relationship and not, like a religious rhetoric or whatever. You know what I mean?
Honestly, once you start to, break past those religious boundaries, your spirituality becomes a lot more intense.
Yeah, and where we get off path with spirituality is when we start really focusing on our problems and our fleshly desires. Our immediate
on you, basically.
on
yourself.
Our immediate goals, like what we're trying to achieve and where we're trying to go, and we start focusing on that, and then we just get distracted and we kind of forget to focus on the Lord. And, time goes by and then you're real dry. Everybody goes to that season, if you're a Christian, where you just feel like, oh my gosh, I don't hear God anymore. I don't feel anything. This church sucks. Obviously it's the church's problem because, but the truth is it ain't the church's problem. It ain't the worship team's problem. It's in between your ears. So there you go. More important to be spiritual than it is to be religious. I mean, look at the guy that was on the cross next to Jesus. Right? Like, how many church services did he go to before he went to heaven?
Ooh. I feel like you're opening up other cans of worms.
Yeah?
Yeah, because it's like you're saying you can live your life in sin. And I'm not saying that this is what you mean, but I'm saying this is what I would hear if I was listening, just to listen. I'd be thinking, oh, so I can just do what I want to do and then decide at the end to be spiritual and to commit, and then I'm going to be fine.
Yeah, you can do that. Sure. If
you
can
consciously know
you can
that
absolutely do that.
If you're being terrible and you consciously know that, and you're living your life like that, and you're thinking in your mind, okay, well, at the end of my life, then I'm going to commit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure. You could do that. But why would you want to? Because the people who live like that are miserable, right? They're always trying to get self-gratification and self-pleasure and all of that stuff, rather than the peace, living in peace. The whole thing about relationship with Christ is to have peace. He's the Prince of Peace, and that. So, I mean, technically speaking, yeah, you could be a complete heathen. I mean, you could be like, no, I know that I do believe in Jesus, I do believe in God, but I'm later in my life I'm gonna get straightened out with them. Right now I'm gonna go get mine. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you can live like that, but do you know when later is? Let me say it like this: if you believe in Jesus and you believe in God, right, and you're like, hey, I'm gonna spend time with Jesus in the morning, and then I'm going to the strip club for lunch. Like what kind of life is that, right? Like, Mazani, why you do that? Am I calling you out?
I'm gonna go to the strip club. They got good wings at the strip club.
Good wings, yeah. I wouldn't know. But what I'm saying is, it's like that is that's a miserable way to live your life. It's because as soon as you leave the strip joint, you're gonna be like all feeling guilty.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm feeling broke.
I'm broke. Yeah, and worse, because you took God's money and took it down there to the strip joint. But
you that pastor that call out people on Sunday.
I'd be.
And Patricia in here with that skirt up her butt.
Nobody want to come to my church with it. They'd be like, "You calling me out, man." But yeah, so all I'm saying is this: is like the reason I made that comment about the guy on the cross is because a lot of people live their lives thinking there's like all these steps you got to take to get into heaven, right? All these steps you got to take to get God to approve of you making it through to the next side, you know. And all I think of when I think about that is that guy that hung on the cross next to Jesus, looks at him and says one sentence about remember me when you come into your kingdom, which is a statement of belief that he really believed that Jesus was who he said he was. And Jesus said, today you will be with me in paradise, you know. And he didn't have any kind of, he didn't know any books of the Bible. He didn't know any of that stuff, right? So I think a lot of people get tripped up on all these rules and regulations and things that we have to do to become, you know, to become saved and become, you know, have a relationship with Christ, when at the core of it is just sit down. Just sit down, spend some time with him. Don't focus on getting all the other stuff right, you know what I mean? Before you sit down and spend some time with Christ. That's all I'm saying. You know, if you go to the strip joint every day at lunchtime, keep going. Just sit down, spend time with Christ, spend time with Jesus. But what will happen is your desires will change, because you'll start desiring, like that scripture I said earlier, he who loves a pure heart will have the king for his friend. So as you make the king your friend, your heart will start desiring to be pure. And you'll start not wanting to go to the nudie bar. You know what I mean?
Let's save those stripper souls. I gotta go and help them.
No, I don't think it works like that. Sorry.
This is a weird conversation for me.
Very weird.
Okay.
I don't know how we got there,
I don't
but I think it's Melody's fault.
Melanie and them strippers.
It was a good question. I really appreciate that question, and I would say the question was something that it was like, is it better to be spiritual or religious? And I would say it's definitely better to be spiritual, not weird, loosey goosey like I'm one with the rocks spiritual. I'm talking about like, you know, connecting your spirit with God's spirit type stuff. You know.
All right, and our next question comes from Cameron Smyer. And before I get started on this question, can you please just take a moment out of your out of this program and share and check us out on YouTube?
That sounded like something from PBS. You're like, what do they say on PBS? Something about previously scheduled program or something like that?
Yeah, they do say that. Okay.
Yeah, thanks for doing that, Mazzani. I keep forgetting, but yeah, if you guys don't mind, just take a second and share this. Hey, also, I saw some people that I know this past week on Friday night, and the Nunezes, and they are freaking awesome. They came up to me and talked with me and said that they watch us. They cast our show onto their big screen TV in their living room. The family sits around and watches our show. So if you're watching, we definitely love you guys. Thanks for letting me know that. Thanks for being a viewer, and share, and you guys share too. I've seen you share the show as well. So thanks for being a part of the Ask Big Van show. Let's go to the next question.
All right, this one comes from Cameron Smyer. He wants to know, when watching a movie or program with your significant other, and they're constantly talking and asking questions, how do you politely tell them to shut the heck up? Oh my God, that's me.
Ain't nothing polite about it. That.
I can't stand that.
There's nothing polite about it. You're like, hey, shut the heck up, right?
No.
Sometimes I just pause it. I'll pause it. I'll just pause the show and I'll be like, this ain't working. You know, we're gonna have to, you know. You've been at my house when they all screaming and talking through a show. I'm not polite.
I'm one of those people who interact with the program.
Oh, I don't think that's what he's talking about. Put the question back up there. Let me see it.
Okay. He said, when watching a movie or program with your significant other and they're constantly talking or asking questions, how do you politely tell them to shut the heck up?
So it could be questions about the show. Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, you don't do it like my wife does it, because I ask her questions about the show all the time, especially if I come in the middle of it, and she watches all these doctor shows and they're cutting people open and all that nonsense. And I'll sit down and I'll be like, you know, why are they cutting that person? Or, you know, why is she with that guy? Last time I was in here, she was with another guy, you know? And my wife can't stand that. She hates it when I come in and talk to her. So I don't think you can. I think you cannot be polite. You have to be very forceful and and maybe slightly violent to get people. Is that? Do you agree with that? Is that why you're not like that?
No.
You don't think violence is the answer?
No. And that's weird for me because I'm usually very violent.
Yeah, you're very violent.
Yeah. But my grandma does that too, and I kind of have picked up her habits now. So it's definitely
She does what?
she'll talk through the movie and ask like a bunch of questions and stuff. And I got to where I don't, if Melody said that, she ignores hers until there's a pause. I don't do that.
Yeah.
I just basically just be like, they keep asking me questions. I never answer. I just let them keep asking and keep asking. And then I find like, okay, all done. We've missed a whole segment.
Oh yeah. I do it more like Melanie. Like I ignore them until I can't hear it anymore. Like if I feel like I missed too many sentences and I'm lost track of the show, then I'm like, I'll pause. I'll be like, hey, everybody get out of here. You know what I mean? And like, not quite like that, but yeah, it's kind of like that. Ask my kids. I'll do that. They'll be in there talking. Cause like I'm in the show, right? Like that's my form of entertainment. Some people, like are into other stuff. Like if I watch a movie, like I'm in there, and people don't like that about me, but like I'm in the movie. And so like if they come through the scene and they set a glass down and the glass is like half full and then the guy goes over and grabs something from the counter and he comes back and the glass is like 3/4 full, like that bothers me, like I got to have a good congruency officer on the movies that I watch, And that drives my wife crazy because that's the kind of talking during the show that I do that drives her nuts, like if they walk in and they leave the door open, right? And then the next shot over his shoulder, the door's shut. And he didn't shut the door, And I'll be like, honey, look at that. Back it up. She's like, I ain't backing it up.
Kendall.
Does Kendall do that?
Yes. She's mad about that.
Yeah.
She
gets that from me.
She picks it out like
Yeah.
the whole time.
She should get a job as a congruency officer at one of these movie lots.
Speaking of her, look at this. She's trying to throw me in the bus. She said I got us kicked out of the movie theater for singing every song on Rock of Ages. Okay, we didn't get kicked out. We just got reprimanded.
Yeah.
Okay, just so you know.
Okay, sure.
What kind of that movie is supposed to be sung?
Yeah. No. People want to hear the professionally paid singers and recording of the song, not y'all belting in the back row over here. I'd have probably had you kicked out too.
You know what? When I'm rich and I got my own theater by myself, don't nobody gotta come.
When you're rich and attractive, like you said?
I'm already attractive.
You said the money is what makes you attractive.
No, that's what makes some ugly people attractive.
No, it didn't. That's shallow.
Sorry, I laugh at my own self. But yeah, so basically all you're saying is you got to be aggressive with them, like
Yeah, of course. I'm everybody knows that, right? Like if unless you got like a significant other that's like real tender hearted, like gets upset talking cross to them. The thing is I've been married for 26 years, but I've been with her for like 28 years, 27 and something, 27 years ish. So like all of that soft talk is long gone, Like we say what we mean to say, And if I say something that upsets her, like I know what I can say now and what I can't say that would upset her. But some of you out there don't have that kind of relationship. And you don't want to upset your spouse. So if they're talking during the movie or during the show, you know what you should probably, if they're talking about the show, you're just going to have to be patient and not watch your fun shows, the ones you really like, with them. But if they're talking about other stuff, just pause the show if you don't know, or just try it out. Just try it, like find out where that line is, and just like snap at them a little bit and see if they whimper and run off. That's not real good advice. Don't do that.
Okay, let's proceed to our next question after that one.
Okay.
This one comes from Robbie Key, and he wants to know, during the cold winter months and you open the front door, are you letting the warm air out or letting the cold air in?
Cold air in. Mm-hmm. Definitely. What happened to my thing here? Okay. Sorry.
I think you're doing both.
let's think about it. Though. Realistically, you're letting the warm air out.
Yeah, because heat rises.
No, that's not true. Because when you're sitting in the house, you feel the cold air come in. Like if you're sitting in the middle of the house. So you think you're doing both? Like the heat's going out and the cold's coming in below it?
No, the heat goes on top. Heat rises.
Right, that's what I'm saying. The heat's up here.
Oh, okay, cool. I didn't know
So like
which
the door
hand.
opens and the heat comes out and the cold air comes below it.
Yep,
So you're doing both, you think?
that's what I think.
You
Either
got-
way,
you gotta-
it's a
you got to be
whooping.
letting cold air come in because, like, if I'm sitting on the couch and my kids come in the winter, I mean, I feel that cold air come whisking through the room. So you're definitely letting cold air in.
You about to let in a whooping.
But I've never been outside and felt heat come out. So maybe you're just letting cold air in and not letting heat out.
Just don't do it, Robbie.
Yeah, just keep the door shut.
Get you some door stoppers.
Do like I tell my kids, don't open the door till May. That's how we do.
Jeez.
Ask them. I tell them that.
Okay, so our next question comes from I don't even know what to say. Comes from Joshua DeLauder. He wants to know, what is your favorite restaurant?
My favorite restaurant. Mm-hmm. Oh, all right. My favorite restaurant. Let's see. I'd have to say Carrabba's. My wife likes that a lot, so I like taking her there. So that makes me happy. Making her happy makes me happy.
Oh, that's so sweet.
That's the right answer, isn't it?
It's always the right answer. It is.
I'd say Carrabba's. If you guys don't know what that is, it's I guess that's all over the country, isn't it?
I've never been.
What?
I've never been either.
It's not real expensive. It's just a little bit more expensive than most places.
You got me a lemonade there one time when we went to see the Panthers game, remember? And that's it. And I was smelling
I
it.
got you one?
Yeah, you got me a
What do you
lemonade.
mean? Like I went in there to eat and I just brought you out a lemonade?
No, like you're just like, you want to get a drink here? And I was like, sure. But in my mind, I was like, please, please, God, let him come out with something to eat. And she came out with a lemonade, and I was just like, thanks, an avocado.
That's kind of harsh. How old were you then?
I was probably like 14.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure you was hungry.
I stayed
I
hungry.
know every 14, 15-year-old kid's always hungry. I should have thought about that. Sorry.
It's okay. It makes for great conversation now. Their
What-
lemonade's good though.
Yeah, what about you? You got a favorite restaurant?
Favorite restaurant.
Shay, what she's thinking, you got one?
Yeah.
It's between Zaxby's and Chick-fil-A.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What about the Popeyes and Chick-fil-A
Uh,
competition?
Popeyes don't even compare.
They're on different spectrums.
But why were they like blown up? Like there was a
Because
competition
they
there.
have a chicken sandwich. That's
Yeah.
supposedly
But it's good though.
It's not the Lord's chicken.
Chick-fil-A is way better.
You know, but Popeyes is Cajun, so it's one of them voodoo chickens. That's on a different
I
level.
don't want no voodoo on me.
No, I don't want to voodoo in me either.
Yeah, none of that.
If you eat it, what are you talking about, Mazan? Mazan, you're talking about eat the chicken.
I gotta go.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, my favorite restaurant is probably my dad's. He didn't really have a restaurant. He used to work for a restaurant, but the Friendly restaurant, I think it's called Family Friendly or something like that. But he's the best cook. Like I low key, I miss his food. Like
Yeah.
I really do. Everything he cooked is, and it was always big. It was always big quantity, big portion.
I don't remember him working at a restaurant.
Yeah, he did.
Really?
Yeah, but like pancakes. He used to make huge pancakes. Oh, he used to get up in the middle of the night and make like these toast, and then he put peanut butter and honey and syrup on it. Bro,
Oh wow.
oh my gosh! Like the best restaurant I ever been to is a restaurant of my dad.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Cool. Let us know in the comments below if you think that I'm right, that Carrabba's is my favorite, is the best restaurant.
I'm right.
Or you think I'm right.
Ah.
Let us
Okay.
know what your favorite restaurants are, and we'll talk about it.
Thank you. Somebody said Logan's. I didn't think.
Oh
about
yeah, Logan's is real good.
Is
Who
it?
Josh
said that?
said
I like
Taco Bell.
Logan's.
that. Cameron.
Yeah, I like Logan's.
Okay, so this next question is gonna come from. Sorry, I read it already. It comes from Kendall Estes. She wants to know: would you rather lose all your teeth or all your fingers?
Oh my goodness. That's awful. Oh my gosh. What if you lost all your fingers with your teeth? Bit off all your fingers
Oh, jeez.
like SpongeBob does.
He does. They grow back.
Remember when he like was popping his arms off just
And he was
kept
just,
eating them?
"Ah!"
Yeah, it's awful. We let our kids watch that. I liked it.
So entertaining. It's so entertaining.
I used to watch SpongeBob all the time, like
still
last
do.
year. So
Sorry.
I would rather. I don't want to lose either one. I would probably say my teeth because you can always get dentures and junk. But like you can't. Like, what are you gonna do if you lose all your fingers?
Disability.
If I did lose all my fingers, like some people like lose a hand or whatever, I would totally get like some space age, like Dr. Claus type stuff. You know what I mean? Like totally. I mean, like I'd get some crazy mechanical,
Bro.
like guns like cannons and junk implanted in my hand and in my arm.
It's just your fingers, though.
So I'd do something like that.
Like some lighters or something.
Well, like Dwight, if it was just like my right hand, then I'd have a fist for punching.
That was the Office reference, wasn't it?
Yeah. What? You don't like The Office? I thought Jennifer Purdue said she wants us to talk about The Office in every episode.
He said, no, she said not to. Not to. Yeah. But we're going to go to the next question now.
All right, let's do it.
All right, so this one comes from Say Justice. He wants to know if it's okay to touch a black woman's hair.
What?
Boy!
Why is he always asking me? Why is he always asking me questions like this? He knows we gonna get off in a hotbed of conversation. Mazzali's already prepping for it. She's got her gloves on over there.
Am I? I'm preparing.
When, if ever, is it okay to touch a black woman's hair? Okay. So, what if... Okay, I know the right answer is never, right? That's right. Okay. But what if, like, I'm walking out of Walmart and there's a black woman in front of me and, like, a big old wasp just flew into her hair? Can I smack the wasp? Can I get it off of her?
You best just keep
Just
on
leave it?
rolling. Yeah.
You just let me know that it's in.
Yeah, you gotta be in your hair. I'm gonna be like,
Yeah.
anyway. So you ain't gotta. I wouldn't even sweat it. Like I'm gonna get the shakes.
You get it off of there?
Yeah, it'd be gone.
Hey, so like I see black women sometimes and they be smacking like that. Pat, pat, pat. Is that like what's happening there? Are they like
Shay,
what's happening
Help
there?
me.
You know what I'm talking about? They be like pat, 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 and they do it fast too, like pat,
help
pat,
me,
pat, pat, pat.
please. Somebody throw the life raft. Get me, Jesus.
Seriously, what's
We
happening
don't
there?
wanna
Why they
mess
be
up our
smacking on their head?
hairstyle.
What's up with that? Are they
You don't wanna
mad?
mess up your
Is that what they do
hairstyle.
like when they mad at their kids?
No.
Boy, you better if you don't listen to me.
I do it, but not often.
Do you?
Cousin.
Yeah, but it's only when.
But why do you smack your head?
Because I had just done my hair. I don't want to mess it up, so I'm just.
But why is that? You like fixing it?
No, my scalp is itching.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh, it's itching.
yeah. So I can't just.
See,
take
we
my
don't
head
know
and-
that. We don't know that it's itching. We just see you smacking your head. How am I supposed to know it was itching? Am I supposed to know that? How would I ever know that? I'm a
Listen.
45-year-old white man. I've never known that.
Everybody knows that.
No,
but you.
they
Joshua
didn't
the
know
water
that.
knew it.
Listen,
They
I
just
thought
smacking.
everybody
Bat,
knew.
bat, 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 bat. I didn't know that was itching.
A lot of people do it too because they got wigs on, and if you itch your wig, that stuff gonna lift. It's gonna.
Oh.
It's
You
when
know?
it shits.
Well, that makes sense
Yeah.
now. I mean, kind of. So you don't want to
Yeah,
scratch
you don't
like
want to
that,
scratch your wig. Mm-mm.
or
if you
just
get
your
your
hair.
hair
You don't want
braided.
to scratch your hair because it's just
You
it'll
don't
pull
wanna
the
mess up
braid
your
out or
hair,
something.
Period.
Yeah, period. You don't want to mess your hair up.
So,
So you just like,
not yeah.
matter
exactly.
of fact, it was itching right there, actually. Matter of fact, but mine, when you have hair like mine, I could just go in mine. I don't care.
Okay.
But some people, if that stuff itch,
So not only can I not touch a black woman's hair, but a black woman can't touch her own hair.
we actually do try to refrain from that. That's kind of funny. Yeah, how you
So
gonna touch it? We don't even like to-
nobody can touch it.
Basically, that's actually kind of factual.
I think that's probably. I wonder if it's the same for like other women's hair, like white women's hair.
No.
Because I never, they ain't. I never seen them smacking. But
The copycats do.
so white ladies out there watching this show, when your hair's all done nice, do you dig in there when it's scratching, or like how do you handle that? Like if your head's itching, do you stick your fingers in your hair and scratch your head? Because I need to know. We need to know some answers to this.
Wait. Before you say anything else, look what Jack put on here. Jack Simon said, you don't want to get your Jerry curl juice all over your hand.
My Jerry curl?
That's,
Is he saying I got Jerry curl juice?
I don't think so. He's a savage. That was funny.
Oh, were you saying something to me?
We got 45 seconds.
Oh, wow. We're done?
We had such a good time.
Oh, wow. We're out of time. Oh, wow. We got any questions we have to shoot real quick? We can answer in 20 seconds or no?
Probably could find one for real quick.
Okay, let's
for
do
you.
one more question and then we're going to get out of here.
Okay, let's do this one right here from Joshua. I know you want it. So Joshua Delauder wants to know, what would be your favorite prank on Dwight from the show The Office?
Oh, Lord have mercy.
I just figured, Merry Christmas.
Okay, favorite prank on Dwight from the show. So most likely Jim did the pranking. Oh, shoot. There's so many. It's hard for me to pick one. All right, I'll just do the one where he was the joint was found in the parking lot. So if you guys are Office fans, they found the joint in the parking lot, and then Dwight did volunteered to do the investigation to find out who the druggie was. But Jim came in and was like, "So it's a memory loss." You know what I'm talking about. So that if you watch The Office, you know what I'm talking about. That's my favorite. That's my favorite prank. It's not my favorite, but that's what I'm going to end with since we're running out of time on the show. Thanks for being a viewer of the Ask Big Van Show, and thanks for listening to us on the podcast. We totally love you, and if you're one of my kids or grandkids or generations after me and you were watching this show in 40 or 50 years from now wondering what I look like, this is it. Check out that hair. That was a rush job. Looks pretty good. Hopefully I still have hair in 40 or 50 years. Wait, 40 or 50 years, I'll be closing in on 100. Hopefully I'm still alive in 40. Let alone having hair. But yeah, I encourage you to love the Lord with all your heart because you wouldn't be here without him. Everybody else watching the Ask Big Van Show, I love you guys too. Looking forward to seeing you next week on the next episode of the Ask Big Van Show. Till then, have a great week and a productive weekend. A productive week and a great weekend coming up. God bless you all. See you later.